Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Christmas cheer, a sprinkle of Simpsy and magic, and one green grump. Today we're diving into How the Grinch Stole Christmas from the year 2000. Directed by Ron Howard, this live-action reimagining of the Dr. Seuss classic boasts a stellar cast, including Jim Carrey, Taylor Momsen, Jeffrey Tambor, Christy Burinsky, Bill Irwin, and Molly Shannon. It's a film that blends over-the-top comedy with a heartfelt holiday message, all wrapped up in a visually whimsical package. Whether you're here for the laughs, the nostalgia, or to see if the Grinch really stole Christmas, this one's got a little something for everyone. So let's head to Whoville, stir up some trouble, and see if this movie's heart, or yours, can grow 3 sizes by the end. Let's get into it. How the Grinch Stole Christmas opened in theaters on November 17th, 2000, with a budget of $123 million. During its 15-week theatrical run, it earned $260.7 million domestically and $85.1 million internationally, making a worldwide total of $345.8 million. Its opening weekend saw it earn $55 million, finishing number one in the box office ahead of Bounce, The Sixth Day, Charlie's Angels, and Rugrats in Paris, numbers 5 through 1 respectively, with all but Charlie's Angels opening the same weekend. Its final week in theaters saw it earn $73,115, finishing its box office run at number 51. As the Whos of Whoville prepare for their beloved Christmas celebrations, the Grinch, a bitter and misanthropic green creature who resides in a cave on Mount Crumpet, despises the holiday and plans to ruin it. 6-year-old Cindy Lou Who, disillusioned by the town's obsession with the materialistic aspects of Christmas, has a chance encounter with the Grinch at the Whoville post office, where he saves her after she falls into a mail sorting machine. Curious about the Grinch's hatred for Christmas, Cindy learns from the townspeople that he was abandoned as a baby and adopted by 2 elderly sisters in Whoville. While in school, the Grinch had a crush on his classmate Martha May Whovier. Though Martha reciprocated his feelings, August May Who was jealous that Martha liked the Grinch and not him, and frequently picked on him for his hairy appearance. In an attempt to impress Martha, the Grinch tried to shave his face, but ended up cutting himself. When Augustus and his other classmates ridiculed him during a Christmas celebration, he snapped, declaring his hatred of Christmas. Ashamed, the humiliated Grinch fled to Mount Crumpet, vowing never to return. Determined to include the Grinch in the Christmas festivities, Cindy nominates him as the town's holiday cheermeister, much to the dismay of May Who, now mayor. Reluctantly, the Grinch agrees to attend, seeing an opportunity to confront his childhood tormentor and potentially reunite with Martha, now Cindy's neighbor. At the ceremony, the Grinch participates in various events and starts to enjoy himself, but his mood changes when May Who gives him an electric razor as a cruel reminder of his traumatic past. To further humiliate the Grinch, May Who proposes to Martha in front of everyone, offering her a new car as an engagement gift. Furious, the Grinch lashes out at the Whos, accusing them of valuing Christmas only for its materialism. He then shaves the mayor's head, lights the town's Christmas tree on fire, and goes on a destructive rampage before returning to his cave on Mount Crumpet. Learning that the Whos still plan to celebrate Christmas with a spare tree and unshaken spirits, the Grinch hatches a plan to steal all their presents, decorations, and food while they sleep, determined to ruin Christmas once and for all. Disguising himself as Santa Claus and dressing his dog Max as a reindeer, the Grinch descends into Whoville on a high-tech sleigh. He starts by sneaking into Lou Who's house. When Cindy catches him stealing their Christmas tree, he lies, pretending to be Santa, taking the tree for repairs, and escapes. Methodically, he strips the entire town of its Christmas goods, stuffing everything into a giant sack, and driving it to the top of Mount Crumpet, intending to push it off. On Christmas morning, the Whos wake up to discover the theft, and the town is devastated. Mayor Mayhew accuses Cindy for giving the Grinch the opportunity to ruin their holiday, but her father, Postmaster Lulu Who, defends her, reminding the town that Christmas is about more than just gifts and decorations. Inspired by his words, the Whos come together, join hands, and begin singing Christmas carols, showing that their Christmas spirit remains unbroken. As the Grinch prepares to push the massive sack off the mountain, he hears the Whos singing below and realizes that his plan has failed. Struck by the true meaning of Christmas, the Grinch's heart literally grows 3 sizes, and he is overcome with emotion. Just then, the sleigh, along with Cindy Lou who had climbed aboard, begins to slip over the edge of the cliff. In a moment of heroism, the Grinch saves both Cindy and the sleigh, returning all the stolen Christmas goods to the town. Back in Whoville, the Grinch apologizes and surrenders to the authority, who pardon him despite Mayhew's demands for his arrest. Fed up with Mayhew's selfishness, Martha May returns his engagement ring and professes her love for the Grinch. In the end, the reformed Grinch invites the Whos to celebrate Christmas in his cave, where he personally carves the roast beast at the feast, now embraced as a part of the Whoville community. Now let's look at the cast and some of their other roles they've had. Jim Carrey as the Grinch. Other roles for Jim Carrey include Bruce Nolan in Bruce Almighty, Lloyd in Dumb and Dumber and Dumb and Dumber 2, Carl in Yes Man. Josh Ryan Evans as 8-year-old Grinch. Before his passing in August of 2002, other roles for Josh Ryan Evans included Timmy in the TV show Passions and Steve in the TV show Family Matters. Taylor Momsen as Cindy Lou Who. Other roles for Taylor Momsen include Molly in Underdog, Julie Moore in We Were Soldiers, and Jeannie Humphrey in the TV show Gossip Girl. Jeffrey Tambor as Mayor Augustus Mayhew. Other roles for Jeffrey Tambor include Adam Shadowchild, Paul, King Peppy in Trolls, and Mr. Grimmins in Mr. Popper's Penguins. Ben Bookbender as 8-year-old Augustus. The only other role Ben Bookbender has had is Neil in the TV show Oliver Bean. Christine Baranski as Martha May Whovier. Other roles for Christine Baranski include Tanya in the Mamma Mia franchise, Ruth in A Bad Mom's Christmas, and Charlotte Cole in Welcome to Mooseport. Landry Albright as 8-year-old Martha. Other roles for Landry Albright include Casey Poe in Con Air, Aaron in Stalker, and Bridget Forrester in the TV show The Bold and the Beautiful. Bill Irwin as Lulu Who. Other roles for Bill Irwin include Dr. Peter Lindstrom in the TV show Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, Uncle Teddy in Across the Universe, and Mr. Leeds in Lady in the Water. Molly Shannon as Betty Lou Who. Other roles for Molly Shannon include Diane in A Good Person, Wanda in the Hotel Transylvania series, and Eva in Igor. Anthony Hopkins as the narrator. Other roles for Anthony Hopkins include Nicky Winton in One Life, Thomas in Where Are You, and Odin in the MCU Thor movies. Clint Howard as Briss Who. Other roles for Clint Howard include Paco in The Waterboy, Smokey in Terrifier 3, and Todd Carlson in Sandcastles. Reed Kirchenbauer as 8-year-old Briss Who. This has been Reed Kirchenbauer's only role so far. Mindy Sterling as Claire Nella Who. Other roles for Mindy Sterling include Glenda Sue in Stuck, Mrs. Briggs in the TV show iCarly, and Debbie in Alpha and Omega. Rachel Winfrey as Rose Who. Other roles for Rachel Winfrey include Mrs. Ryerson in Malignant, Emily in Special Unit, and Shonda Rhiesman in Donnie Darko. Jeremy Howard as Drew Lou Who. Other roles for Jeremy Howard include Kyle, Galaxy Quest, Donatello in 2014's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Terrence in Sydney White. TJ Thine as Stu Luhu. Other roles for TJ Thine include Jack Hodgins in the TV show Bones, Moreland in the Horizon Forbidden West video game, and Greg in The Human Contract. Jim Meskimen as Officer Houlihan. Other roles for Jim Meskimen include Pegasus Gray in Corporate Animals, Johnny Carson in Driven, and Ray Price in Frost Nixon. Mary Stein as Miss Rue. Other roles for Mary Stein include the Bird Lady alien in Men in Black 2, Gerda in the TV show Providence, and the landlady in Babe, Pig in the City. Deep Roy as the post office clerk. Other roles for Deep Roy include the Oompa Loompas in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Mr. Soggy Bottom in Big Fish, and Keenzer in the Star Trek reboot movies. Rance Howard as the elderly timekeeper. Before his passing in November of 2017, other roles for Rance Howard included Uncle Ray in Nebraska, Carl in Appleseed, and Cardinal Beck in Angels and Demons. Vern Troyer as a band member. Before his passing in April of 2018, other roles for Vern Troyer included Mini-Me in the Austin Powers franchise, Grip Hook in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and Percy in The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Bryce Howard as a surprise tube. Other roles for Bryce Dallas Howard include Claire Dearing in the Jurassic World trilogy, Grace in 2016's Pete's Dragon, and Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3. I do like, even though this movie is about the Grinch, our first two characters we see are Cindy Lou Who and her dad. Then we just see the Grinch's hand right before the four Whos stumble across the door to his cave. I kind of wonder if Bill Skarsgård got inspiration for his Pennywise smile from Jim Carrey's smile near the start of this. Maybe not, but you never know. How nobody in Whoville saw the Grinch when he was sneaking through the town is beyond me. He is the only person who has green hands, and surely they're not all dumb. I know a few are, but come on, it's obvious he's not a Who. The mayor being okay with young adults defacing public property, but not antagonizing the Grinch, only gives us a little bit of an idea on the kind of mayor he is and the kind of person too. Max knowing that Cindy Lou Who should be saved goes to show not both Max and the Grinch are bad. Martha and Betty having an established rivalry over Christmas lights was a nice touch to give us some backstory on some of the characters in this. I wonder if Where Are You Christmas was the driving force for Taylor Momsen deciding to pursue a career in music as the lead singer of the Pretty Reckless. Maybe not, but it could be. You never know. Jim Carrey is an absolute blast watching this. I can't get over how great he is as the Grinch. The you're an idiot echo bit was so funny and clever. And, all the times I've seen this, I never realized Mindy Sterling was in this movie, even if it is such a small part, but it was very important to the history of who the Grinch is. I do love the world building we get in these flashbacks on how Martha May, the mayor, and Grinch were and how they came to be the way they are. And Martha May being smitten by the Grinch, even at 8 years old, is such a unique way to give him a love interest, even though nobody presently likes him, even though we find out later that Martha May does. Jeffrey Tambor is doing great as the mayor. He makes you not be able to stand him. The Grinch trying to drown out the cheerful music is such a funny scene because he's going way over the top to try to drown it out. And Taylor Momsen and Jim Carrey have such good chemistry when she comes to invite him to the celebration. And the fourth wall break was fantastic. Martha May not being impressed by the mayor is so funny to me. The Grinch's entrance into Whoville by landing on Martha May is so perfect, with both of them having crushes on each other. The montage of the Grinch taking part in the celebration was fun to watch, but can the mayor get any lower by giving the Grinch a razor, causing the flashbacks for the Grinch, and then to propose to Martha May right after is so slimy, I think. The Grinch going on a rampage after being humiliated is justified because he'd done nothing wrong but stay to himself for all those years. The Ron Howard impression when talking to Max about being Rudolph was the best thing in this movie. The mayor kissing Max. Max is behind. It was so funny because of the reaction shot of Max when it happens. I love Lou sticking up for his daughter after the mayor said it's her fault the Grinch destroyed Christmas. Lou and the Grinch both coming to realization that Christmas isn't about the gifts, but it's about more than that is such great writing. I like how Martha and Betty set their differences aside to save both Cindy Lou and the Grinch, and then Lou stopping the sled. Overall, it's a great Christmas movie that reminds us of what Christmas truly is about, and that's the people we spend it with. Now, there are quite a bit of fun facts and trivia I found out about this, so I'll go ahead and get into it. The scene where the Grinch is directing his dog Max before stealing Christmas is Jim Carrey making fun of producer and director Ron Howard, imitating his style of directing. Howard found the scene hilarious and decided to include it in this movie. According to Rick Baker, the prosthetic makeup Jim Carrey wore took about 2 hours to apply and 1 hour to remove. Jim Carrey revealed in the Graham Norton show that he felt so confined and uncomfortable in the latex suit that he sought counseling from a CIA agent who taught him torture-resistant techniques. The line 6:30 p.m. dinner with me, I can't cancel that again was improvised by Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey spent 92 days in Grinch makeup, spending 2 hours in the morning getting in and 1 hour in the evening getting out. According to Carrey, he became a Zen master while sitting in the makeup chair. Jim Carrey's Grinch suit is covered in yak hair, which was dyed green and sewn onto a spandex suit. Sir Anthony Hopkins recorded all of the narration for this movie in one day. Jim Carrey was suggested for the title role by Audrey Geisel, the widow of Dr. Seuss, who controlled the rights to the book. She also suggested Jack Nicholson, Dustin Hoffman, and Robin Williams. No movie other than this has featured so many characters in heavy makeup and costumes since The Wizard of Oz. Jim Carrey actually contorts his face muscles to get the Grinch's sinister grin. It isn't prosthetic. Approximately 600 visual effects were used in this movie, totaling 43 minutes of screen time. The word Grinch is said 76 times. Eddie Murphy, Tom Hanks, Jack Nicholson, John Lovitz, Adam Sandler, Ed Asner, Gilbert Gottfried, Bob Hoskins, and Tim Curry were considered to play the role of the Grinch. Anne Hathaway, Rachel McAdams, Mandy Moore, Lindy Booth, and Alexa Penavega were considered for the role of Cindy Lou Who. And that's a wrap on How the Grinch Stole Christmas. From its larger-than-life humor to the warm, fuzzy holiday feelings, this movie still knows how to deliver the gift of entertainment. Whether you've been a Grinch yourself or you're just here for the laughs, it's a holiday classic that's hard to resist. What did you think? Is this version of the Grinch a cherished holiday traditions, or do you prefer the animated versions? Let me know in the comments, because here on Movies on the Brain, the conversation doesn't stop with the credits. Thanks for joining me, and remember, sometimes the best Christmas gift is a story that reminds us that our hearts can grow. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next time.